I'm with Aaron Merkin, who is the priest at the Christian community on Cainscross Road in Stroud, and we're standing in what must be the newest church in Gloucestershire. So can you tell us something about this building, please, Aaron?
It's very new. It's constructed of cross-laminated timber panels which hold the whole building up. There are no separate girders or beams or anything like that, concrete columns. It's a self-supporting structure which required a lot of close collaboration between the architect and the structural engineers. We built it because the old church, which had served us well for 51 years, had proved to be too small. So we had an opening weekend conference from the 18th to the 20th of October. But I guess the main event was on the 20th of October. We consecrated this new church in the morning with the very first service, Mass, Eucharist. We call it the act of consecration of man, to which I think 150 people came, or perhaps even more. And many from different parts of the country, and also from the Christian community in Germany, where we are far more represented than in Great Britain.
So what's it like having a new church?
It's wonderful. There are a lot of snags, which I won't go into naturally with all new buildings, but overall we're incredibly pleased, incredibly happy. The community has grown steadily over the last 10, 15, 20 years really. It's been in this location for 51 years, and we needed the new space, and it looks like the space is also drawing even more people who feel that they can breathe again.
So how did you come to build a new church? Because that's a very rare thing to do.
It's been a long process, over 10 years really, when it began to become obvious that we needed new spaces, we needed bigger spaces. The design process was quite a business because we like everyone to be involved. Everyone is allowed to have their say and be heard. So you don't have one person calling all the shots. I certainly didn't call all the shots at all. But it means that the community really took ownership and dipped into their pockets and did everything imaginable to raise the funds, which was an enormous effort over all those years. So you've got your back to the new chapel, new church, and I'm standing in our new foyer, which is about 5 times the size of our old foyer. Thank goodness. The old foyer used to be a real traffic jam when events and services took place and so on. And behind me is the old chapel, the old church. So now we're standing here in our old chapel. We're still trying to get away from calling it our old chapel and getting used to calling it our new community hall, which, as I said before, served for 51 years for this community. Quite a humble space, really, but with a lot of substance. You know, in the Christian community, we consecrate new churches, and when they have completed their service, so to speak, we deconsecrate them. And that we did in this old chapel, new community hall, on the day before consecrating the new church. So on the 19th of October, it was packed in here, and all the doors were open, and people were in the passages and in the foyer. And we took wooden blocks with nails. It might sound a bit shocking and strange, and we scratched the walls, and you might be able to see some scratches across the old altar wall over there. It was a very moving thing to do. Everyone sat in absolute silence. The walls were scratched all the way round, and then we had bells. We have a bell choir here with handbells, which played for, I don't know, about 4 or 5 minutes. It was very moving. People had tears in their eyes. It was really the end of an era, but hopefully also the beginning of a new period where we can very comfortably now rent out this space to other groups, which we've tried to do in the past and have done, but it was always, compromised because it was also a church. But now, to host concerts and plays and school events, we're very happy for people to contact us. We have a website, the Christian community in Stroud, We have an email address, ccstroud@talktalk.net, ccstroud@talktalk.net, and you're welcome to contact us if you are interested in renting this space. We would really like it to serve the broader community.
So we're just about to have a look at another room which opens off the foyer. So let's go inside and you can tell us what this room is for.
So here we are in our new wake room. We did have an old wake room which also doubled up as all sorts of other spaces. It was a bit of a compromise. It's a practice that used to be quite widespread and I believe still happens in southern Germany, in Catholic parts of Germany. I'm not sure about Italy and France, although I believe also. And certainly in Ireland, the wake was traditionally the time when people would stay awake with the body of somebody who has died. And very often at home, and family and friends would come and visit. Of course, today we don't do that so easily. Some people in our community still do, however, but generally they prefer it if it's an objective space. So this room is actually intended for laying out the coffin with the lid open for 3 days, more or less, where family and friends can come and visit, spend time. They can spend the night here. They have free access to come and go, which is a wonderful possibility to really engage with the process of mourning, of letting go, of remembering. And in fact, we've had interest from people in the broader community in the past who've used our other wake room. And we're hoping that this room can all the more serve not only our own community, but also people beyond our community who would like to, shall we say, open up this relationship to death and dying. That it's not such a scary thing, that it's something that we can embrace if it's held in the right way. And we hope that this room can help us in this way.
So we're going to have a quick behind-the-scenes look at some of the other parts of the church. So we're in the lobby, and what have we got on this corridor?
So this is a slightly quieter part of the new building. That's why there's a special doorway here. There's a consultation room in here. People who want to have a private conversation with the priest can do that here. And then we have a wonderful new doorway into our beautiful garden. So our beautiful garden, which actually we had before, but it's been slightly large. It's become slightly larger actually, and more enclosed than it was. We have a playground for children and a sandpit. We have a parent and child group in the community. We also have a quiet corner where people can sit and have private conversation. And we have festivals and celebrations here in the garden. And this is the last sort of hidden space. This is our vestry. This is where the priests prepare for the services. It's not fully built out yet, but it's getting there. And it's got its own special door just round the corner where the priests and the servers enter and exit from the services. So here we are now at the other end of the foyer. There are these two passages, these two arms that act like buttresses to the main church in the middle. And this is slightly more pragmatic, this end. We have the garderobe, we have toilets, and we have an office of a respectable size by comparison with what we had before. And there is Paul, our secretary. So our community, and if I dare say I too, have a very strong relationship to the environment. We support our local organic and biodynamic farming community. We receive our milk from the micro dairy. The bread that we bake for our services is baked by one of our members, and it's organic or biodynamic. And well, as far as the building is concerned, it's not actually as easy as one might think to find to create an environmentally friendly building, but we have tried to use natural materials as far as possible. Cedar shingles. There's a green sedum roof, which hopefully is going to replace some of the, let's say, earth footprint that we've taken away with the building. And there's the wooden cross-laminate timber structure that we have inside, the raw clay quarry tiles in the foyer and the wooden floors and so on. And it goes without saying that natural products are also beautiful and aesthetic, which is also something that matters to us.
A big consideration, naturally, with modern buildings is minimizing our energy consumption, particularly for heating. So in this building, besides the thick cross-laminated timber walls, we also have triple glazed windows all the way around. Of course, it's a bit of an extra expense, but it means that the rating of this building is incredibly good in terms of insulation. There's also a thick, I think it's something like this, I don't know, what is that, 5 inches, 6 inches of special insulation material on the outside as well, before the render went on. And we'll find out in due course what our energy consumption is, but we hope very much to have reduced it and not increased it.
So, having just finished building a church, I see that you've got another building site just to the side of the church. What's going on here?
We do, that's right. Yeah, we're real suckers for trouble, aren't we? But fortunately, we're not actually running this building site. We've sold this piece of land, which was just overgrown really, to the Wayfarers Trust, who are a charity for affordable housing, and which is run by somebody from our community. And it just so happens that a lot of the people connected with this trust are also from our congregation. We have a lot of socially minded people in our community. So here 5 units are going to go up for older people who happen to be part of our community, don't have to be. And it'll be a wonderful extension of our life here along Cainscross Road. There's the Cainscross Road up there.